So, you want to be a character. What's that? You already are a character. Sorry, I misheard you. You said you're an individual, but you're not happy. You think there's more to life, right? What did you say? You're bored of being you? Instead, you're ones that, quote, I feel like I'm a character in a novel. Her boyfriend thought this was strange and cool and used it as the basis of his first novel. Now, is there any way of not making this creak? Now you think this is cool too. You have listened to many songs, watched countless plays, seen a film for every day that you have been alive. You've read the history of history, Cleopatra, Napoleon, Genghis Khan, Elvis Presley. After all, this, you contend, there is no more noble state of being than being a character in a novel. You want me to help? Sure, I can try. I mean, we can try. There's no fee needed. The pleasure of work is the pleasure of work itself. But I'd like to make a little deal. No, it doesn't involve sex, and it doesn't involve your mother. If I'm going to reinvent you as a character, I want to outsource some of my consciousness to you. Not too much. There's just this tiny little part. It's not especially immoral. It's not dark matter. If you're worried about that, call it a hypothesis. One that can't be tested in my body, in the statehood of my head. Yes, really, there's no risk involved. I do it all the time. Actually, maybe it helps to see it like this. You are invented when I outsource part of me to you. In turn, you reinvent me. Now, that should make you feel better. We reject the patriarchal tyranny of one-way power relations, don't we? I'm glad you're nodding. You're nodding, aren't you? Oh, that thing I'd like to outsource to you. It's a modest piece of ideology. Do you like ideology? Or do you prefer action? No, I'm not coming on to you. You're so not my type. Anyway, having sex with you would be like having sex with the secretions of my brain. It's totally gross. There's no casting couch here. We aren't in Hollywood. Though you may one day end up in Hollywood. You may be celebrated. You may be violently embodied by Tom Cruise. And you may have simulated intercourse with Mila Jovovich. But that's further down the road. I wouldn't worry about that now. You have to focus on what it means to be you. On the bright side, you're going to live forever. Or until the book that you're in goes out of print. Even then, you will still exist. In fact, you'll find that existence feels like being alive and dead at the same time. Am I putting you off? Have you done some research? Am I the first person you've approached? Can we be friends? Let's hang out. What music do you listen to? Oh yeah, whatever I listen to. Do you brush your teeth before or after you pee in the morning? What is the last thing you regret? Are human rights universal? Do you want to be like me? So, you say that you spoke to actors. They didn't have theories, but they all used different words for the word empathy. I reckon that word's overrated too. One of those actors told you that acting isn't about becoming someone else, but simply not pretending that you are someone individual. Do you even know what that means? No, good. Hey, can you guess what narrative can do? Guess. Go on, guess. It can, and often, give it a vivid sense of character without giving a vivid sense of an individual. Sure, you can be a character. You can just be a character. You don't have to be an individual anymore. Ditch it. What's the difference? It's the same difference between that of a writer and that of an author. Okay, you're going to be one or many of these things. Number one, a proper noun. Number two, a proper name. Number three, a complex system of ideas. Number four, a controlling perception. Number five, an instrument of verbal organization. Number six, a pretended mode of referring. Number seven, a source of urban energy. You will not be an object of perception, and nothing that is appropriate to a person will be correctly said about you. You will keep me sleeping peacefully for many, many nights. I will worry about your flatness. I will construct elaborate histories of your backstory, most of which will never be let loose on the world. I will struggle to elaborate histories of your backstory. I will struggle to make you talk in a way that is neither how real people talk, nor how non-real people talk. We call this kind of thing the voice. I may, at some point, be guilty of endowing you with an improbable, illogical, precocious intelligence that is not befitting of your age, your social status, your family background, or your point in time. Hey, if it worked on Dawson's Creek and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it can work here. I'm also going to decide if you are main or peripheral. If you were very famous or a friend, I would consider you for a cameo role. I don't think that cameos are real characters. They're like amusing tears in reality. Okay, if you're going to be remembered, you will need a name. There are some books that don't give their heroes names. There are some authors that say a character doesn't really exist until he or she has been given a name. By the way, my name is made up. Okay, I will write some of your physical attributes in incredible detail, whilst there are going to be huge areas of your body that are left completely blank. If you're played by Tom Cruise later on, then these blanks will be filled in with his body or that of a body double. You know what? I'm actually working on a novel at the moment where every character is a body double for a famous actor. My idea is that when it's turned into a film, they will be played by the actual actors they double for, because I will insist that the doubles have doubles. I will strive to make your character round, even though I know it is impossible in fiction. I will determine whether or not you have to die, what the nature of your death will be, and whether the death stands for itself in the way that time stands for itself, or if your death is a neat narrative device. I secretly hope that something you say sometime in the future will make at least one person cry. You and I don't count. You and I, you, I, you, I. Here's a thought. Now, feel free to disagree with me. After all, if I've given you free will, you might as well use it. Right? Anyway, have you seen that film, Synecdoche, New York? You know, the one with Philip Seymour Hoffman as the hypochondriac theatre director, trying to make a work that really counts, that really means something. He builds a one-to-one version of Manhattan, and he populates it with actors who play characters from his own life. His wife, her lover, their daughter, his mistress, and so on. And then he has actors who play the other actors simultaneously, because that's the thing about representation. It's always delayed, it's too late. Forever at a diminishing tangent to time, unable to ever catch up to the original. Don't worry, you can be original, but you're also never going to be original. It's not your fault. It's not even mine. So, anyway, at the end of this film, the hero, Caden, has gotten really, really old. Decades have passed. All his actors have died on set, trying to get the perfect performance. Even funerals are reenacted. It's an incredibly sad and desolate scene. And you hear Samantha Morton's voice. She's directing Caden's sluggish, slow movements. She sounds like a crackly voice message recorded on an old mini-cassette. She sounds just like a playback. Is Caden actually the only character? Was he ever alive? Do characters keep living if they've not died or been killed off? Is the fundamental effect of loneliness to keep on speaking to others, to yourself, or to keep on listening to others, to yourself? Will you ever get lonely without my permission? Will you ever speak without my permission? Does it work the other way around? Are you still listening? What shape are your ears? Come back tomorrow morning. On your way, pick up a cappuccino, a pain au chocolat, and a knife. We have much work